detained in Thailand, handcuffed, as both of the brothers identified as Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra, who fled India within hours while the nightclub in Goa was still blazing, it was still burning, 25 people having lost their lives. And what did they do? They chose to flee the country. Now, this is, as far as the location is concerned, that has been traced, that has been tracked, and this is owing to the cooperation that happened between the authorities of India and Thailand. Now they will face justice. The very thought, as far as taking a flight to flee, and that sham condolence message that they posted on their Instagram handle, well, this is now something, as far as the hearing in the court is also concerned, where they have been seeking anticipatory bail, and that too for 4 weeks. That's going to come up for hearing today. They thought that they could vanish into a tourist crowd and escape accountability, but this is not going to happen. A short while back, the first pictures that are now coming in, both of the brothers handcuffed. They have been detained. They are now in custody, and that illusion of an escapade is now over. The noose that is now tightened, and when it comes to, they will be dragged back to India very, very soon, because here the criminals are not allowed to get away, and they will not be allowed to negotiate terms on their condition. They are now going to be brought back, and they will now be made to answer as to pay for every life that has been lost, and to say that most of them were their own staffers, the people who worked for that nightclub that unfortunately lost their lives because of that blaze. Let's connect with Bhavtosh on that. Bhavtosh, this is a big development. First pictures that are also coming across, both of the brothers handcuffed there. And this is due to the cooperation and the coordination happening between the Indian and the Thai agencies.
Yes, Amita, in fact, it's a coordination of several agencies, from the Central Bureau of Investigation to the MEA and to the MHA. Remember, CBI is the global cooperation unit, which in fact tracks the fugitives, and they in fact worked behind the doors. Though the Goa police will continue to be the law enforcing agency, they will in fact investigate this case. Having said that, the Goa police have a big task ahead, because they will have to investigate this case. The federal probe agencies have managed to bring them back to the country. Times Now broke the story at around 9 in the morning, and other channels have to follow the story. The visual proof is there. Both of them have been handcuffed, and they will be brought back to the country. The question is the efforts of the law federal agencies that have brought them back to the country. Will it also be matched by the Goa police? Will they in fact make a watertight case against them? There would be a hearing before the Delhi court, which will take place at around noon. One has to wait and see whether it will be infructuous or whether it will actually happen. The procedure will follow. As to what will happen next, one has to wait and see. But very soon one can expect them to come back to India.
All right. Well, now that they have been detained, deportation would be the obvious next step that might happen. Aditya Pradap, senior lawyer, is connected with us. Aditya, hi. Thank you for taking out your time. We have Arunil also connected with us with all the ground reports that we are picking up, because all of this that has now happened, and that too at proactiveness that we can call it on part of the authorities, Arunil, on part of Goa police immediately dispatching teams. Of course, there is a lot of damage control that also needs to be done on their end as far as how this nightclub in the first place was allowed to function, but they cannot now get away with it. As far as the Luthra brothers are concerned, they have to come back and face the law.
Present, a crucial meeting has been chaired by Goa CM Pramod Sawant. In the meeting is the state police chief of Goa, as well as the other key stakeholders related to the security aspect are present in the meeting. What is going to be the next future course of action? We also understand that a team of Goa police will be arriving in Thailand. That will be in Bangkok, because as Bhavtosh was also pointing out, that the case remains with Goa police. They obviously will be working in tandem under the command of India's central agencies. And CM Pramod Sawant, as well as the state chief, that is Varsha Sharma, are chalking out an entire strategy about how the Luthra brothers can be brought to Goa and in front of...
That means that there are going to be also a team that will be traveling to Thailand. If you can confirm that information, Arunil, because this after the detention has happened, and the act in coordination or under the command of India's central agencies, a team of Goa police will also travel now to Thailand, Arunil?
Well, that is right, Amita. A team of Goa police will be traveling to Thailand. They obviously will be acting under the command in coordination with India's central agencies. But the case remains with Goa police. The FIR is registered with Goa police. They will have to work in coordination with India's central agencies, be it CBI as well as the other agencies who've been handling the case. CM Pramod Sawant at present is chairing a meeting with the key stakeholders. That also includes State Police Chief of Goa, that is Varsha Sharma, discussing the future course of action, how they are going to plan the next move, because this is a significant development that we broke on Times Now First, that the Luthra brothers who escaped from India immediately within 5 hours after this horrific fire broke out now have been nabbed in Thailand, and now all kinds of attempts as well as the process has started to bring them back to India, bring them to Goa and give them punishment.
Aditya, what's your take? Because as far as if the brothers would have fled to, internally within the country, then the matter would have been handled as far as when it comes to the Indian agencies. But this is now a matter which now involves the Thai agencies as well. How quick do you believe that this has been the work, the coordination that has now happened? And legally speaking, what happens from here on when they will be placed formally under arrest?
Well, to begin with, I appreciate the prompt action taken by the police and law enforcement agencies. I do feel that policemen need to be a little more alert, that they should immediately, immediately they should alert the airport. That they should give the name immediately. Sabse pehle they have the online system. They should immediately enter the name in the online system so that even such sort of escapes do not happen. Secondly, these people are Indian citizens. They will not enjoy any special rights in Thailand. If they think they can do a Nirav Modi Vijay Mallya, that is not going to happen. The Thai authorities will tell them, you want, number one, in Thailand, at best, you have visa on arrival. So clearly, they don't even have a right to stay in Thailand in the first place. Second, if you feel that your rights have been wrong, go back to India, appoint a lawyer in Thailand, he will argue your case. So I believe that the two brothers will not be able to take too much recourse to Thai law in order to prolong their stay in the country. Third thing is, at a time when the Upahar fire tragedy happened, everyone thought, these are the youngsters, what will we be able to do? But today, the regime is different. Today, if you're owning an establishment, no matter how high and powerful you are, fire happens, people die, you will be arrested. Yeah. And I must appreciate the change in India's regulatory landscape. Earlier, the top, big, rich and powerful could call up their connections and the probe agencies would fall short. Hit and runs used to happen.
Well, that's an example that everybody is same when it comes to law, and they have to face if there has been any violation there. And this is, criminal to an extent, if we can call that, because the nightclub was still burning when the both of them decided to flee the country within hours that we are speaking of. But there is another update that is now coming across, because what happens after the detention, let's take you through exactly what could be legally the course that would be taken up. They would be the Luthra brothers, identified as Gaurav and Saurabh, would now be placed under formal arrest, and they would be taken to the airport there in Phuket and would be handed over to the Indian agencies. And they are now to be brought back to Delhi, the very same route that they had taken to flee. And thereafter, because the incident has happened in Goa, thereafter they would be taken for a transit remand to Goa itself. But remains to be seen if the hearing actually happens on that anticipatory bail, because that would mean that it would have no meaning attached to it, because now that they have been taken into custody, they have now been detained, Bhavtosh. But what happens here legally? How quick can we see the deportation happening?
Well, it's a matter of few hours or maximum a day or so, because the work has been done. People behind the closed doors have managed to identify them, put them in a deportation center. It's not an easy thing to find two Indians in a place which has lot many tourists, particularly Indians, and then the fact that they have escaped in a very planned manner. But along with the Interpol Thailand, which is the Royal Thai Police, they located them. In fact, very soon there would be a statement also out from the Central Bureau of Investigation. They are working over it. The Indian Embassy in Bangkok, their officials will be going to Phuket, and they will be waiting for the Goa police. If need be, the CBI, which is the Interpol India, their officials will also be present. And the question is whether they will be directly going to the Goa, or whether they will be coming to Delhi and then going to Goa. but that is all the logistical problem. But they will be formally arrested. They will be arrested because there is an FIR against them under non-bailable sections. As you rightly said, whether the hearing in Rohini court will now be relevant or not, whether it will turn infructuous. But the kind of outlandish statements that they made yesterday clearly shows that they are thinking, they were at least thinking that they will get away in this case, that they have money and muscle power. And the Goa police has to now really investigate this case. That's what the sources have said, that central agencies have managed to track them, managed to make sure that they stay in Thailand and then bring them back here. But it is ultimately the Goa police that has to investigate this
case. A watertight case that needs to be now built on part of the Goa police and the authorities there, because this is something, as far as the fight for the justice is now concerned, it's not a number or a statistic that could be attached to the lives having been lost, but justice for each and every, and to their families as well, is what is the need of the hour that is now required, bringing back these two brothers to the country. But a high-level meeting of the Goa administration, what we are told, let's break that angle as well. That would be taking place shortly, where the Chief Minister, the Chief Secretary, the DGP, IG and the DIG, along with several other top officials, are likely to participate. And the discussion will focus mainly on the strategy for bringing the Luthra brothers to Goa after deporting them to India and arresting them. So this is where, when it comes to the other partner as well, who has been brought to Goa, and this has happened during the transit remand, where a Goa team police that was dispatched to Delhi and he was picked up from there. Now it seems that the same protocol is likely to be followed when the Luthra brothers are brought back to India. So as far as the deportation process concerned, it may take time, but likely it is being said that they will be brought back to the country as soon as possible. These are the first pictures that have now been accessed of both the brothers, Gaurav and Saurabh Luthra, in detention. There you can see they are handcuffed and in the custody of the Thai authorities. It's a matter of 4 days. If we take a look exactly when it comes to the fire incident that was reported close to midnight on the 6th of December, and within 2 hours, booking a ticket on a private platform and then fleeing to Thailand, that happened on the 7th. And today being Thursday, amounting to nearly 4 days, their escapade has now ended. And mainly that was being said that they fled to Phuket. And it is now being said that near Phuket is when it comes to they being detained by the Thai authorities. And this has happened in close coordination with the blue corner notice that was also issued. And they were on the authorities' lookout. But having been said that, what is being said, the details of where they were hiding, were there any accomplices, exactly when it comes to their locations, were they changing their locations often, all of that information is yet to be received and confirmed. But let's connect with Rucha on that front. Rucha, in Thailand, we're looking at now the both of them have been detained. We're looking at the process, what happens from here on, from Thailand, when they will be brought back to India.
Currently, while we are speaking, a high-level meeting is going on. Chief Minister Pramod Sawant has called the meeting where the senior police officials of Goa Police are present, the DGP, DIG, everyone is there, and they are making plan of action how after the accused will be brought here in India after deportation, how they will be taken to Goa is what the planning is going on. In fact, we are also learning from our sources that Goa Police is trying to plan to go to Phuket to nab them by their authorities, and currently while they are in arrest of the Thai authorities, the Goa Police are also making an attempt to be there on ground, because the Goa Police is the first authority who had lookout circular issued for them and who have been tracking the brothers since the night of the fires. They were first ones who called them at 11:55 p.m. Right after the fire was reported, and after, despite being in communication with the Goa police, the brothers managed to fly away and leave the country. And now after they are detained, a lot of action is expected in this. The police department is active on ground. They are speaking with many of the authorities how they can get the hold of the...
When we speak on legal terms, exactly when it comes to the police, where does the responsibility lie on making a watertight case as far as they don't get away, as you said, with muscle power or money power or something that's not going to work out for them, but a watertight case is now needed to be built on part of the Goa police?
Absolutely. Now, this is where the domain of investigation comes in. Clearly, sections imposed by 105 a culpable homicide not amounting to murder. We have 125 endangering life of people and 287 negligent conduct with respect to fire. Now, here this is a case that police has to do custodial interrogation of every person involved, including public servants who would have given the license, who would have given the building approvals. Here I'm taking a look at some of the photographs of the restaurant, and I can see that these structures, be it Birch by Romeo Lane where the fire took place, it is made up of all wood and highly combustible substances. And then we have whether there was compliance with the fire safety norms. Because what happens is a lot of promoters, they tend to put their company in front, they'll appoint a company secretary, they'll appoint a manager, they'll appoint a CEO, and they will sit in the backdrop. The fact of the matter is...
No, but Aditya, can they put the responsibility on their staff or the ground operations managers? Because this is what they have been doing when the Rohini court was taking up their anticipatory bail. Their counsel was of the opinion that they are not directly involved, especially when it comes to the day-to-day operations. Can they be held liable?
Of course, see, if I'm the investigator. Now, see, the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita does not impose vicarious liability. You have to show how a person is culpable. And here, the investigating officer will have to be diligent because, see, the facts are writ large. These two brothers, they form the restaurant. They have decided everything. Fact remains key. Not a pinch, not a penny would move in that restaurant without the two brothers knowing. So if the police show that these people have this much control, then second part is, what is the criteria for negligence? Rash or negligence, not, for as far as, rash or negligence is concerned, not taking the due standard of care. And as far as culpable homicide not amounting to murder is concerned, knowing that the act is likely to cause death. Right. So this is a clear fire investigation. A detailed crime scene investigation will reveal how the fire was caused because, and number two, were the conditions which the two brothers put in place. See, the entire restaurant.
We've seen that, as far as their arguments in the court is concerned, what happened yesterday, but establishing the ownership, Bhavtosh, would that be one of the major claims that the police would have to do, as far as one of the partners has been claiming that he's just a sleeping partner, but the other two brothers there establishing their ownership, that they actually are the true owners of this entire nightclub that just is located in multiple areas across the country and even abroad. Would that be an issue on part of the Goa police to establish who is the real owners?
Yes, Amita, in fact, that would be the part of investigation at the point when the trial in this case will start. But the fact remains the manner in which they were passing the buck, the audacity of these accused in this case, in which they said that because the managers in the case have been arrested, the culpability lies with them. The fact remains that they were the owners, and also when Priyank had done a story, he in fact said that they are owners of at least 40 shell companies. So it's not clearly a simple case of an owner whose premises have been set, whose premises were engulfed in fire and 25 people died. There is more to this case than meets the eye. They have suspected links with criminals. They also, the manner in which they escaped is something that needs to be investigated. Their alleged links and connivance with police officers and politicians need to be investigated. And that's what many in the central agencies are saying. Is the manner in which they escaped is something that needs further investigation. Having said that, they have said that Goa police is the law enforcing agency. They have to build the case strong in the trial court.
All right. Isha is also connected with us because the ground reportage that's happening right from Thailand to Delhi to Goa. Thailand authorities there, I mean, this has been quick work, Isha, on their end as well to try and locate, especially when it comes to the whereabouts of the brothers, the first pictures that has now been accessed, both of them in handcuffs.
Yes, Amita, a big win for the Indian authorities. They worked in tandem with the Thailand authorities to detain the two accused who fled the country. What we have gotten to know so far is that they were hiding in an area which is called Patong. Patong is home to more tourist areas, and it's also where the scrutiny of the police is much lesser because there are more tourists there. In fact, what we've also learned from our sources is that they were staying in a homestay or a resort of a situation, and it wasn't a hotel, because a hotel requires a necessary biometric check and a copy of the passport. So they were also trying to avoid the glare of the Thailand police. Like Bhavtosh was also pointing out, there is more to the the case that meets the eye, because two people who ran shell companies, who ran several clubs, just ran away from the face of India when something went wrong. That raises multiple questions, and so they have been nabbed. A big win for Indian authorities for working in tandem with the Thailand police, ensuring justice for the 25 victims who lost their lives in the fire in
Absolutely.
Goa.
And this is something that's going to follow up till the time justice is given to those 25 victims there. Rakesh is also connected with us. Rakesh, what is happening within the authorities in their level as well? Because suspending of officials is something that they need to get to the bottom of this. One nightclub may have flouted norms and regulations, but there might be others as well, and several of them in Goa. What is the authorities doing to exactly follow up on that accountability?
To fix up the accountability, at least 3 of them have been zeroed down, out of which 2 of them's statement have been recorded by Anjuna police, and 1 officer has not contacted the Anjuna police yet. And as CM said yesterday that this 3rd officer is being contacted and he doesn't revert, then he is likely to be put under the arrest. Apart from that, a panchayat committee is also under the radar of the investigating agency for issuing documents without any verification, without any other required protocols. So this entire business was running on the basis of the forged documents or the lack of required documents, and that is why the members of the panchayat committee are also under the radar of the investigating agencies. Apart from that, a lot of statements are being taken at the Anjuna police right now. What I'm also learning that Ajay Gupta, who was arrested from Delhi earlier, is likely to be produced before the Bapusa court at around 12:30, and where the Goa police will be seeking his further remand.
All right. Well, Aditya, on your part, as far as, do you want to add legally, how does the process, because here continues, because this is not just a story of one nightclub. There might be several of them, not just in Goa, but in other parts of the country as well. It would be a lesson for all of them to actually follow the norms and regulations.
Absolutely. It'll be a lesson for them, because what happens is, we had done a PL in the Bombay High Court in which we got special regulations for fire safety imposed in Mumbai. Now, when we met fire safety experts that told us that when we go to builders shoo us away citing costs, or fire protection stuff is too expensive, no need. Builders have a very pathetic attitude. Number 2, let me tell you one shocking thing. 2017, Mumbai saw Kamla Mills fire tragedy.
Yes.
More than 15 people died. From what I read in the newspaper, 8 years later, the trial has not started. Point is, when the fire tragedy happens, FIR is registered, people are arrested, there is all the media attention.
Fast tracking, as far as that seems to be the point that you're making, that this case is not lost, as far as in hundreds of cases that seems to be pending, and justice is swiftly given to the victims and to the families of the deceased as well. Thank you very much to all of our reporters. Aditya, appreciate you taking your time as well. But this is going to be the big impact story that we are tracking for our viewers on Times. Now, the Luthra brothers now having been detained, deportation.